The last 2 times we played them, okay? So, the last time that the 49ers lost, this was under DeMeco Ryans.
Correct.
They had 6 straight touchdown drives to put up 42 points. It was immediately after Drake Greenlaw got injured. He got injured, and they put in DFF at the number 2 linebacker spot because Aziz was already out that year.
I remember.
And they just went straight at DFF in the passing and running. Like, wherever 45 was, they just went straight at him. We had no answer. Now, you go back to the Super Bowl, that was under Robert Saleh. They scored 31 total and put up 21 points in 7 minutes. A lot of that was coverage. And everybody wants to talk about Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan.
It was extension of the play for Patrick Mahomes.
Yep, there you go.
It was him just making the play. And having a guy like Tyreek Hill to kind of like bail him out. I think once that play happened, even though they didn't score off of that particular play, like it sucked the life out of the stadium. Because it was like, oh, snap. Right. And it gave life and gave momentum to the Kansas City Chiefs. And then kind of Kyle Shanahan started running the ball. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Like, he just stopped running. He felt like they were stacking the box and they were playing to take away the run. And so Kyle assumed that Jimmy Garoppolo can beat that with the quick throw game, and Chris Jones knocked the ball down twice. And so that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was just circumstances. It wasn't even scheme that beat the 49ers. It was more like
I agree with that.
A play broke down and the defense just was lost.
And you got to make plays. Like, one of the things that I think is interesting, I talked about the Chiefs wide receivers. They're not good. They've got skill sets, but like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he's a burner that drops passes all the time. You got to take advantage of that. The NFL, especially the Super Bowl, you got to take advantage of opportunities when they come. And if a ball gets tipped, you got to get those because Patrick Mahomes is so damn good. He's not going to give you a lot of chances, but their wide receivers will. Kelsey, when the bright lights are on, he shows up. But that first game of the playoffs, he had 4 drops in 1 quarter. Take advantage of it whenever they make mistakes. The 49ers roster is better than the Chiefs. I believe that wholeheartedly. Patrick Mahomes makes up and covers a lot of that ground.
There it is.
Andy Reid's pretty damn good. I think Spagnuolo should be getting a lot more credit than anybody else. That dude,
that's why Chris Jones was bigging up his defensive coordinator and Spags we trust. Like that's exactly why the defense is playing as well as it is.
Yeah. And Think Tank 03, do the backup linebackers have what it takes to cover? I'll tell you this. Ben Johnson, the offensive play caller for the Lions, anytime Oren Burks was in the game, 48, they would go straight at 48 in coverage or run, very similar to what we just talked about when DFF came into the game against the Chiefs a year ago. It was the same damn thing.
We are realizing that we're missing Aziz Al-Shaair when we're in base defense. And Oren Burks is not him.
He was good early in the year. He got banged up a couple times.
He got injured.
It just hasn't been the same. Very similar to Aaron Banks.
Yep.
And that's just the truth of the NFL. Like, you see a guy like Mahomes last year, whenever he got injured, and he just said, screw it, I'm going to hobble around and still do his thing. That's rare. That doesn't happen. But that's just kind of what he does. Yeah, right here, Niners Nation. Mahomes makes me nervous. He should.
Absolutely. He should. Like, and I just want Niners Nation to know that you 100% are normal. I mean, we're talking about the reigning Super Bowl MVP and champion. Like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's who we're playing against. The best quarterback in the league, right? Whether he's MVP or not, he's still the best quarterback in the league. He's still the last quarterback, like standing next to Brock Purdy. Like that's how elite he is. I think for me though, if I had to put a little bit of a worry out there, it would be what the Kansas City, formations do when Jair Brown is on the field. So, like, if we line up with the 3 on one side, 1 on the other, like 2 on one side, like that's going to be a little nervous because Jair Brown is who I think that they're going to look to attack in this particular game.
I see Gibson going to the Kelsey side every single time.
He has to. He has to. Like if I'm Steve Wilkes, you can't expect the rookie to take on that assignment. And there needs to be somebody like even Gibson on that, like he's gonna need some help. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. We talk about Travis Kelce here, who is just He's a problem.
Yeah, he is. Gregorius Greg, why doesn't Kyle attack players on defense like other coaches do? He does. If they got a bad linebacker, he
Yeah, he
he goes
does.
straight at their family. He does not care. So he does, but he doesn't put a lot on. He focuses on linebackers and safeties. That's his
Safeties.
two that
Mhm.
he goes after quick. And so, but yeah, otherwise he'll target certain players in the run game. But yeah, his go to is linebackers and box safeties. Which if you're looking at this Chiefs defense, they're pretty good. You got Leo Chanel,
Mhm.
who I think is really good. You got Bolton, who's good, and Gay, Willie Gay, he moves around amazingly well. So
Mhm.
like they've got three really good move linebackers and two good corners, and their safeties aren't great. Edwards would be the guy I would target, Mike Edwards, but he ain't bad. They've got a great defense.
But I think you can target them and make them what you do in this game is you make them cover. And so you run the ball successfully, and then you find a way to get your guys into the matchups to where their linebackers have to cover George Kittle.
Yeah.
Or their linebackers have to cover a Debo Samuel coming out of the backfield. The Debo's burning that. Or their linebackers have to cover a Christian McCaffrey when they go to an empty set. Like that's Kyle Shanahan taking advantage. And I don't think there's any linebackers in the league that can cover our weapons. Like Fred Warner, but he's on our team.
Right. And I think this is, right here, white trash nobodies. Can't allow Kelsey to set up the soft spot in the zone and wear us down. You got to have a hot read on him. We're running zone. Like that's who we are. We're
That's
running
who we
zone.
are. That's who we
And
are.
so whatever Greenlaw, whenever he comes to your zone, you got to attack that. You just got to have a quick trigger. And there's going to be some hits there. And I know Kelsey's a big man. He's tough as hell, but Drake Greenlaw got to hit him and got to make him pay the price. That's what it is. You come over the middle. He's done it all his entire career. He's amazing. Drake Greenlaw got to make him pay. And that's just what it is.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.